happy Wednesday, the 22nd. So next week, you guys are going to be doing a DBQ. So part of your assignment for this week is to read the 4 documents. So DBQ stands for document-based question. I think that'll look right when you see it. Okay, so document-based question just means that it is basically kind of like a mini research paper that you would do in a short amount of time. So you're going to have a question related to our topic, which is Washington's presidency, and then you'll be using those 4 documents as your evidence for the answer to the question. So the biggest point here as far as DBQs go is that they are not about the documents. The documents are just a way for you to provide evidence for whatever the question is. So DBQs are a 5-paragraph essay, but they are short, sweet, and to the point. So you really only need maybe 1 piece of evidence in each body paragraph. And you'll, for this one, just follow all rules of an essay. So you'll need a introduction with a hook and the background information and the thesis. Do not forget, you need a thesis, which everyone should remember, but this is claim, so like your opinion or argument or point plus your 3 reasons. Okay, so we got that it's basically an essay. 1 piece of evidence in each body paragraph is fine. You need a thesis with your claim and your 3 reasons. You need your body paragraphs. Obviously, each body paragraph is going to be about the reasons. And then you'll also need a conclusion to sum up your thinking. Another thing about DBQs, document-based questions, let's just make all these like this, is that they are typically 45 minutes. So obviously, I am not going to be able to force you to only take 45 minutes. If you go beyond that, go beyond that. But in a classroom setting, when you do a document-based question, you would only have 45 minutes to do it. Also, typically you would not get the documents in advance, but because we're just starting out with this, I'm going to give you some time to really look at them, become familiar with them, and then you'll use those to do the question next week. What else about DBQs? They require you to cite the sources. So you can either use the document title. So if you said something like, according to the Constitution, and there's our document title. Or if you are paraphrasing or quoting or whatever, and you're not naming the title of the document, then you can just put in parentheses at the end of it, document 2, or whatever document that came from. What else? I think that's kind of the gist of it, the nitty-gritty. So 5-paragraph essay, follow the rules of an essay, 1 piece of evidence in each body paragraph. Make sure, oh, here we go. You should already know this, but you need to explain the evidence evidence and how it supports your claim. It might be a good idea for you to screenshot this to have reference to and kind of review while you are doing the DBQ. Couple more things I thought of actually. So I said this already, but they are not about the documents. The documents are only there to support your answer. So I don't want to see in document 1, it talked about yada, yada, yada. I do not care what it talked about in document 1. I care about the evidence that you pull out from document 1 to prove your point. That's why I'm saying this is basically like a research essay or like the argumentative essay that you just did. You do not need to have a counterclaim though, but a counterclaim is always great. Shoot, I had one more thing. I want to pause the video and think about it and then come back. And I'm back. Also, this is my new kitten, Finch. My husband finally found out yesterday, and he likes them. They snuggle. Okay, here we go. So the last thing that I forgot, and yeah, I guess I'll just write it down here, is you need to answer all parts of the question. So on your DBQ, you might get some question like, you guys know my favorite example. Why are cats better than dogs? So you've got the question. And then there will usually be 2 to 3 bullet points that are going to tell you to include specifics. Explain their sleep patterns, relationships with humans, and shedding issues. Okay, so if this was the question, you need to use these bullet points as a checklist. You cannot pass if you do not hit every one of those bullet points. So you'll have the overreaching question, which you need to answer, but then it's going to give you some specifics to discuss. So you have to make sure that you hit each one of those to the best of your ability. Usually 2, it might say something like use at least 2 sources or at least 3 sources or use all the sources, but you want to make sure that you are not relying on just one source. So for example, or I'll just put this over here, I guess, use multiple sources. You don't want to only use document 2 and the whole thing. I think this is pretty much it. If you're still confused, there's a bunch of videos on YouTube. You can just type in what is the DBQ and you'll get tons of tips and things like that. But this is kind of the nitty-gritty of just what it is. So it's basically a mini research essay where you get the question presented to you and you get the sources presented to you, and you're supposed to be able to bust it out in a short amount of time, about 45 minutes. So this week though, you are not doing any of this. You are just reading those 4 sources that I already put up on Canvas for you and just familiarizing yourself with them. So hopefully you're good to go. If you're confused, jump on at office hours and I'm here to answer questions. Also, for the Kahoot, the first place and second place winners might be getting some sort of gift card sent to their school email address. So if you are actually watching this video like you should be, then that could be you. All right, bye guys, miss you, stay healthy.